Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to study the Ball poem written by John Berryman. But before we move to the explanation of the poetry, let's have a quick look at the biography of the poet. Born on 25th October 1914 in McAlester, Oklahoma, US, John Allen Berryman was an American poet and scholar. His life was quite full of struggles. He got graduated from Columbia University. He became a major figure in American poetry in the second half of the 20th century and is considered a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. His best-known work is the Dream Songs. He was awarded with National Book Award, Pulitzer Prize for Literature, and Bollingen Prize for Poetry. He died on January 7, 1972 in Minneapolis, US. Now, let us move to the introduction of the poetry. The poet John Berryman, through his poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life, which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic as how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Through the loss of a ball, he wishes to convey the message that nothing in this world is everlasting. Even we will have to lose our loved ones and our prized possessions, but we will have to get going. Now, let me read the poetry to you. The Ball Poem by John Berryman. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then, merrily over there, it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down, all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning, well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. Now, let us move to the detailed explanation of the poetry. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then, merrily over there it is in the water. So, here the poet is talking about a boy who has lost his ball. He wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball. Further, he asks to himself that what this boy will do after losing his ball. The poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. He says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street. This means that when the ball is kept from boy's hand, it went into the street and later on it fell into the nearby river. So children, you can see here, ball, go, then water. So here there is no specific rhyme scheme. And when there is no rhyme scheme, then we call it a free verse. So this poetry does not have any specific rhyme scheme, hence it is a free verse. Also you can see children that the ball has been personified here. See, the ball has been given a human animate form. As it is said, the ball was merely bouncing down the street. Thus, the ball has been personified. The another figure of speech or literary device used here is anaphora, which is repeated words. So you can see here, what is the boy, what, so that has been repeated. Also, assonance has been used, repeated use of vowel, O. You can see here, children, boy, now, who, lost. So it is what? Assonance. Also here, imagery has been used. When poet says merrily bouncing down the street, you can just imagine what's happening. So it is imagery. And then repetition is also used here. The word what has been repeated. So these are the literary devices in this particular stanza. Now let us move further. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball, is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. So children, here also you can see there is no rhyme scheme, hence a free verse I already explained. Now what actually this stanza means? So the poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy by saying that he will get another ball, because he does not want any other ball. He says so because the boy is feeling very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He's sad because all the memories of his childhood days went down into the harbor with the wall. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad as the ball, which has now gone into the water, reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it. This loss is unbearable for him and he is grief-stricken. The poet says that he can't even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belonging to the boy. Further, the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his belongings. And this is going to be his first personal loss. Actually, it is his first personal loss. And that is why this is the learning stage. He will have to realize the fact that in our life, we are to lose many personal things, but the life has to go on. Now, let's have a look at the literary devices used in this stanza. The first literary device used in this stanza is repetition, because the word ball has been repeated. And the second one is ascendaton. So what is ascendaton, children? Whenever in a line, if conjunction is missing, rather commas have been used but conjunction is missing, so we call it what? Ascendaton. So ascendaton has been used here. You can see this line, a dime, another ball is worthless. So what is it? Ascendaton. Now let us move to the next stanza. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He's learning, well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. Here, the poet says, children, that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. He personifies the ball as his belongings, be it worldly things or the relationships he is in possession of. So he says that he has to learn to live without them, no matter what. He says no one can buy back such things for him. The poet said so because according to him, money can't buy you everything. If it does buy you something materialistic, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. He says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost things. So this means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again. This is the truth which everyone must learn in his or her life. So now, let us see the literary devices used in this stanza. First of all, children, we have alliteration. As we can see here, use of sound B at the start of two consecutive words buys a ball back. B, B, B. So it is alliteration. Then the second literary device used in this stanza is assonance. So assonance, because the vowel sound E is prominent here. You can see here in this line, he is learning well behind his desperate eyes. So the vowel sound E, it is quite prominent, hence it is assonance. Then we also have repetition. The word ball has been repeated. And as I told you, this stanza also does not have any rhyme scheme. See, take, boy, external, eyes, up, no, up. So hence it is what? It's a free verse. So the complete poem is a free verse. Now let's move to the conclusion of the poetry. So children, the poet wants his readers to accept this harsh reality of life, that one day we all will be losing not just the things that we own, but even our loved ones. So we should be strong enough to bear our personal loss and get going in life. Well, children, I hope you all must have understood the poetry well. Stay home, stay safe. Bye-bye. God bless you. Take care. We will be back with another video soon.